What's up, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna do some more speed reviews. I have a bunch of products sitting right here in front of me that I have thoroughly tested. I have my final thoughts and I am ready to pass those on to you. I know it seems like we just did one, but I'm trying really hard not to let this pile up and have like a 2-hour long video. So it is what it is. We're gonna jump into this. Now, if you are new here or maybe you have forgotten how I do my speed reviews videos, I split all these products into 3 different categories. So up first is going to be the products that I hate. I don't like these, I don't recommend them. They will probably eventually at some point leave my collection. The next category of products is going to be ones that they're fine, there's nothing wrong with them. Maybe it comes down to personal preference or they just don't quite stack up to being a favorite. The last category is going to be absolute favorites. These are products that I am loving, I am reaching for. They're not necessarily holy grails, they may or may not be at one point, but they are products that I am loving in the moment and I think are absolutely fantastic. I 100% recommend them. I would repurchase them if I ran out and pick up more shades if there are some available. I will have all of these products linked and listed down below in the description box if they are available, as well as everything that is on my face. I did go ahead and film this look. You will see this coming up very soon in a video. I keep saying that, I know, I promise, but it will be down there if you can't wait. But let's go ahead and jump into this. All right, let's go ahead and kick this off with the misses. We only have 4 products in this category, which I'm very happy about because that means I haven't come across a lot of duds, but we do have some, unfortunately. Up first is this one from Zeesea. This is in collaboration with the British Museum. This is an SPF 50 like makeup primer product. So it's meant to be worn under your makeup and also double as your SPF as well. I did get this in the June Ice Cream Beauty box, and this is not good. First of all, it is a chemical sunscreen. It's not a mineral, which is fine. That doesn't mean it's a horrible product, but this does not look good on under makeup. Every time I have put this on as like a primer, as my SPF, whatever, I even have it on today, my makeup just is not set well on top. Like if you look right now, my forehead is separating, it is coming apart. I don't normally have that problem with any of the other products that I have on my face. It's setting very weird around my face. It just looks like it's separating, and the only culprit has to be this. So I don't enjoy this. This also does leave a white cast, but it does kind of dissipate a little bit and soak into the skin. But I think if you have a skin tone that's anything darker than me, it is going to hang around. So I love the packaging. I think it's cute. I still want to try the brand, but this one was just a big fat pass for me. Up next, we have this one from FAVS. This is the Fairy Dust Pressed Highlighter Duo in the shades Moonlit and Star Kissed. I got this one in my June Boxy Charm, and I'm not a fan of this. I actually have it on today, and this just, it never melts into the skin. It's not very smooth. It feels a little dry and like very textured. Like they want to be pretty, but they are very underwhelming. Like there's just not anything that's like really pretty, really reflective. They're not even like a pretty subtle highlight. Like they are on that cusp of wanting to be blinding, but they're just too dry. They're too gritty, and they don't melt in the skin. I'm just not a fan of them. I don't like my makeup whenever I use them. Like I'm not a fan of my base makeup today. It's driving me nuts. But speaking of highlighters, I do have one more. This one breaks my heart because I've really been enjoying this brand, but it comes to us from Dibs, and this is the Desert Island Beauty Status Stick. This is a face and body highlighter, and I bought this. I wanted to try out a bunch of products from Dibs, and they do have another highlight available. I missed it, but I picked this one up, and this one is just like, it's creamy and it looks like really pretty, but once you go in and you blend it out, even using the brush, it looks like a very chunky, like metallic foiled finish. It never really sinks into the skin. It never really meshes. It doesn't just leave like a beautiful glow. It's a very like metallic-y foiled look, and it's just not anything that I'm fond of. I don't think it's anything that anybody's looking for on their skin. And I don't know, it shows all of the texture that you have, whether it's on your face, your body, whatever, and I just don't think it's very beautiful. I was really disappointed in this, and I don't recommend it. Go ahead and skip on this. There are other beautiful highlighters out there, especially if you're looking for one for the body. I think ones that are more of a balm are much prettier. And then our last product in this category comes to us from Xoxo, another brand I have really been enjoying lately, but I actually got this in like the June or the Sephora birthday gift that they do every year. And this is the Air Brow. It is a clear lifting treatment gel. This does nothing. It is clear, so it doesn't add any color. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't really have any hold either. Like, I don't have a whole lot of brow hairs. I have to kind of work with what I have. They are microbraided on. I do have on a product to make them look very full and fluffy. So whenever I wore this in conjunction with a pencil, they didn't stay in place. They just kind of fell off, and then it kind of took away from the pigmentation of my pencil, whether I put it on before or after the brow gel. And I'm not impressed with this. I just don't think it's a very good one at all whatsoever. Okay, so let's move on to the products that are okay. They're not great, they're not horrible, they could have been better, they're just not favorites. They maybe missed the mark by just a little bit. And we're gonna start with this one from Milk Makeup. This is the Cloud Glow Foaming Primer, and this is really nice. I do really enjoy this. A little bit goes a long way. You do not need much of this at all. It does leave a very pretty glow on the skin. It is very hydrating, and it does have a small tack to it. It doesn't have a tack like their Hydro Grip does, but for me, the reason that this is going where it is because this is not a very big bottle. I've only used this maybe 7 times, and we're already down to here. So if this was my main primer that I used every single day, I would fly through this tiny little bottle, and it's not cheap. So if the price was lower or the packaging was bigger, this would have moved up to a favorite, but I just can't justify spending that kind of money on something that I would probably have to repurchase every single month if this was my main primer. Next, we have the Make Face palette from Beauty Bay. I have really enjoyed this. I do like it. I like the idea of this. I wish the consistency in here was just a little bit creamier, and I think if it had more, I think if I could use everything in here, I would like it more. This powder is awful. It creased under my eyes. It is not flattering at all. This yellow, I will never use. These two, I can't use either. So I think for me, if I had something that was more on the lines of like I could pick out what I wanted and build it myself, I would like it. And this is a good palette if you're balling on a budget, if you want this kind of layout setup type product. This is a really good one. I just think that there's probably better ones out there. Now I can 100% take that back later on if I find out this is the best formula, but it's not an absolute favorite. Like, I will get some use out of it, but it just, I don't know, it just doesn't quite hit the mark for me. It's not exactly what I'm looking for, what I'm going for, and I think if I could use everything in here, I would like it a lot more. All right, so from Natasha Denona, we have the High Glam Powder Foundation. This is a beautiful powder foundation. It really is. The reason it's falling here is because I am not a powder foundation person. I like them for like a very quick, easy day, especially in the summer, because it's going to kind of help with like the sweat and the oil and everything. And I also enjoy this putting it on over like a really sheer like skin tint, and I just want a little bit of extra coverage. But for me, it's not something that I'm going to just use on the daily. Like, I won't get a ton of use out of this, but I like having it in my collection if I need it. But this is a beautiful powder foundation. It is a hydrating powder foundation. So if you are a little bit more on like the normal side like I am, or maybe even drier, it's not going to dry you out. It's not going to look cakey and creasy and just sit on top of the skin. It is going to mesh with it and look absolutely beautiful. And from what I understand, if you have oily skin as well, it looks really beautiful. It's not going to mattify the skin all day, but it's also not going to make you a complete grease ball by the end of the day either. So I do think this is a beautiful powder foundation, but I do also think that it is very pricey for what it is. I think this is like $55. I know it's refillable, but that's still a hefty price tag for a powder foundation in my opinion, but it is a good one if you're looking for a good powder foundation. Up next, we had the Tarte Creaseless Setting Powder. Now, this is marketed as an under eye setting powder, so that's how I've been using it. First of all, I love the packaging. I love the iridescent purple lid. We get this little under eye poof. It has the lid to keep everything from falling out. I'm not a big fan of the like the netting sifter in here, but it is what it is. Now, this is a very finely milled powder. It looks beautiful under the eyes. It blurs, it sets, it doesn't cake. It does what it says it's going to do. But my issue is the pink is extremely pigmented. Like if I put this on under my eyes with a little poof, it makes them very dark and my eyes no longer look bright. I've had times where they don't even match my skin anymore. If I go in with a brush, it's a little bit better, but the pink has really been working for me if I put on a very brightening concealer that's too light for me and I kind of want to tone that down a little bit. It works really good. So be aware of that the colors are very, very saturated. With that being said, I would love to pick up the translucent version of this and try that one and see how it works, but it's been sold out for a really long time. I am on the list to alert me when it comes in stock, and when it does, I will pick it up, test that one out. So this is kind of like a to be continued, but I did want to let y'all know in case you were looking at these, you were interested. If you have fair skin, the pink is way more pigmented than you think it's going to be. It's not going to give you that brightening effect that you're looking for. All right, let's move on to highlighters. We have a couple of them. Up first is the Lethal Cosmetics Avatar The Last Airbender, the White Lotus Pressed Highlighter. Now, this is a beautiful highlighter. It is absolutely stunning. It is very, very reflective. It looks beautiful on the skin, but I'm going to tell you now, if you don't like something that is like bam in your face, has a little bit of like a, I don't want to say it's a textured finish, but it's also not like a super smooth finish. It doesn't melt into the skin the way you want it to. It doesn't go on like the first one that we talked about, but it can look a little textured on the skin. That's the word that I'm looking for. So it is beautiful. I do love it. I will use it, but it's not a favorite. So it's not one that I'm like, oh, I wish they had more of these in this formula. I feel like it's just, it can emphasize texture if you have it. So just kind of keep that in mind. The Patrick Ta Major Glow Highlighting Duo. I'm trying really hard not to blind y'all with this. Let's chat about this, because the first time that I used this, I was very unsure about this. I had really no feelings about it. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It was one of those where I was like, this is different, what do I do? But I have played with it and I have figured it out. So first of all, the powder is very beautiful. It is going to emphasize texture if you have a lot of it, but I've also figured out less is more. The less that you put on of this, the better it goes on, the more it just kind of melts in, shears with the skin, and it doesn't emphasize texture. But let's talk about this cream up here, or balm, I should say. This is not a cream. This is very, very, very balmy, and it does dry down, but not completely. So if you have oily skin, you don't like any kind of tack on your skin at all, this is not going to be for you. But it absolutely has a beautiful gloss to the skin. I really enjoy it. I don't mind that little bit of stickiness because my hair doesn't stick to it and I don't have oily skin, but I have figured out that the proper way to apply this without it lifting, grabbing, or doing anything weird is with your finger. So if you just pick up a little bit of it with your finger and just kind of go in and tap it along the high points of your cheek and then go back with your clean finger and just kind of disperse it, it is absolutely gorgeous. This is stunning, but this is not for everybody. For me, I really enjoy this. I like it. I'm not running out to buy more of these. I don't think I need more of these. I have other highlighters in my collection that I love more, but I do think this is very unique. I think Patrick Ta was going somewhere. I just don't think he went in the direction that everybody wanted. I think if he had stuck with his cream formula that he has in his blushes and his bronzers, this would have been a bigger hit. So this is one of those that you definitely need to go into store, swatch it on your finger, walk around with it on your hand for a little bit, see how it dries down, how you like the feel of it, all of that before you buy it. If you've already bought it, you already know if you love it or not, but it's a good product. I just don't think that this is going to be like a hit from Patrick Ta. That's it. Okay, so I have another balmy highlighter that we're going to talk about. This one comes to us from Half Magic. This is the Beam Trap Skin Illuminating Balm, and this is really pretty. It comes with the two different shades in here, and this is more on the balmy side, whereas the Patrick Ta is more on the glossy side. So if you want something that's got that nice cream finish, but it has that little bit of like a sheen, of like a glow to it, this is beautiful. My issue with this is I wish they had sold them in individual individual shades because I will never, ever, ever use this. I have tried to, I have mixed them together just like they show, and this is way too dark for me, like way too dark for me. Like I could never get away with that. And then if I go in and mix it with the two, it is still so deeply pigmented that it is just overwhelming and still too much for my skin. But I can get away with the lighter shade. Like the lighter shade looks very pretty. It is a really nice champagne. These are very smooth. They are not sticky. They are not tacky. They go really nice over powder products. But I just wish that you could have bought the shades individually because you get this tiny little pan right here. And this was like 20 something bucks. I can't remember exactly. It'll be down in the description box. And I'll never use the other half of this. So that's my big qualm with this. I do think it's nice if you can get away with both shades. This is a fantastic product, but if you are fair like me, maybe even lighter, I would skip on this just because it's kind of a waste when you come down to the fact that you can only use half of it. Okay, so this one should have been in at the beginning with primers, but we're gonna put it in with highlighters. This is the Benefit Do La La. I have the shade Rhea, and this is another one of those illuminating primers, foundation add-ins, highlighters, hybrid products. So this is very nice. It is hydrating, it is lightweight. I think it can be a little too hydrating if you have oily skin, but I have two issues with this. So one, it is very, very lightweight, very sheer, and very subtle. So if you put this on under a foundation hoping that you're gonna have a little bit of glow peek through, it doesn't. It doesn't do that like the Charlotte Tilbury, Catrice, and Auric do. It kind of dissipates and goes away. It does mix in very nice with a foundation. I have mixed it in with some more of my matte ones and I do like it that way. But then if I use it as a highlighter, if I put this on over powder, whether it's with a blending sponge or with my fingers, a brush, whatever it is, it lifts the product. So depending on how you want to use this, what you intend to use it for, I just don't think that this is the best one. It is a little bit on the pricier side. It does come in a tube, which I like, but you also don't get a whole lot of product. You only get 0.85 fluid ounces, which is 25 milliliters. And you can get the Catrice one that is absolutely beautiful. It has a good glow, it has a good consistency, it's gonna peek through foundation. It works every single way. You can get a full fluid ounce of that for 10 bucks. So it's not a bad product, it's just, it's not great. It could have been a lot better than it is. The eyeshadow base from Beauty Bay. I believe this comes in a couple different colors. I have the shade Base 2. This is like a concealer consistency for an eyeshadow primer. Not my preferred consistency. I absolutely love my MAC paint pot. If you've been here, you already know that. But this has the consistency of a concealer. It is creamy, it is lightweight, it does have some coverage to it. It does dry down, not to a full powdery finish like the MAC paint pot does, but this is going to really help, you know, your eyeshadows to stick to your lid. It's going to help them pop, all of that. My issue is I have extremely oily eyelids and every eyeshadow that I put on over this creases at about the 5-6 hour mark. So this is going to work on days that I'm maybe not going to be wearing my makeup very long. Maybe I'm doing multiple eye looks, things like that. But for the long haul, this just isn't going to work for my eyes. So if you have drier eyelids, you don't have an issue with creasing and you just want something to have down as a base, maybe get rid of some discoloration, or maybe you just like to have an eyeshadow base, this is a really good one. But if you're like me and you have oily eyelids, wow, stay away from this one. It's just gonna be a hot mess and your eyes are gonna eat up everything that you put on over top of it. Okay, so we have a couple of lip products to talk about and then we can move on to the favorites. So up first is this one from Gerard Cosmetics. This is the Hydra Matte Liquid Lip in the shade Honeymoon. I got this one in my Ice Cream Beauty box and this is a really nice formula. The color is beautiful, it is creamy, it is more hydrating than some of the other liquid lips that I have. But for me, someone with chronically dry lips, like no matter what I do, this is a little too drying for my liking. Like I can absolutely feel a couple hours in, it's just not quite as comfortable. I feel like my lips are really dehydrated. The color is still there. It is not transfer proof, but it does last a really long while. But when it comes down to liquid lips, this is just not up to par with my absolute favorite. I love the ones from ABH, the lip velvets. I actually have one on right now. They are super comfortable, very hydrating. They last all day. I wish they had more shades, but this isn't bad. If you don't have an issue with dry lips, I do think this is a really nice formula and you would like it. But if you have dry lips, it's not gonna be the best. And up last, we have this from Natasha Denona. This came out with her Golden collection. This is the Golden Glimmer Gloss, and this is beautiful. It does have a like plumping effect to it. I don't know if you can see that little bit of like gold sparkle in there. It is very beautiful. It looks good on the lips. It's comfortable. It doesn't hurt. It's not stinging. It's just not anything that if I ran out, I would repurchase. If they discontinued it and I ran out, I wouldn't be sad about it. It's a gloss. It's okay. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's pretty. It's not an absolute favorite. And that's kind of why it's falling here, is it's just not what I'm reaching for on the daily whenever I'm going for a lip gloss. But it is really pretty. If you have it, if you're thinking about picking it up, I don't think you'd be disappointed. I just think there's better ones out there. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the good stuff. We've got a lot sitting here in front of me, and I am excited about all of these products. I really love these. I've been reaching for them a lot, and these are the good ones, y'all. So let's go ahead and start out with the NARS Light Reflecting Hydrating Primer. This is such a good primer. It doesn't have a tack to it, but it is very hydrating. It just has a beautiful canvas for the makeup. Everything goes on really nicely over top of it. And I did wear this one day on one half of my face, and the other half I didn't have a primer. And I did notice that it increased the longevity of my foundation. I thought about filming it, but then I thought, nobody's gonna wanna watch that. If you wanna watch it, I can do it again. Let me know down below. But this is such a good primer. I absolutely love this one so much. Okay, moving on to foundations. I have two of them. Up first is my e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. This one was number 2 in my mid-year foundation ranking video because this is absolutely gorgeous. I did end up ordering another shade that's a little bit lighter, so maybe that'll be my perfect shade. If not, I can mix them together, but this is only $8 and this is absolutely gorgeous. I have a dedicated video on my channel wear testing this. It lasted all day. It looked beautiful, no creasing, no caking. It didn't come apart. It didn't settle. It didn't accentuate anything. This is a beautiful foundation, and I think it's going to work really well for all skin tones and skin types across the board. It has a fantastic shade range, and we love the affordability of it. We have this little guy right here from Charlotte Tilbury. This is her Unreal Skin Sheer Glow Tint Hydrating Foundation Stick. Now this one really surprised me. I do have a video up on my channel doing an all-day wear test of this, but this one is sheer, it's glowy, it's very hydrating, and I was expecting it to be a nasty, greasy, hot mess by the end of the day, but this wore absolutely beautifully on my skin. I have watched other people with combo, maybe even oily skin, use this as well, and this is beautiful. If you have oily skin or combo skin, just be kind of aware that it is going to accentuate that oil production. It is going to leave you extra glowy, so just kind of, you know, take precaution in how you prep your skin. But this is beautiful. I love this. Now, this does have like a reputation of being along the lines of the Hollywood Flawless Finish, and it definitely is. It definitely has that beautiful glow to it, but this is not as thick, it's not as heavy, and it's not as glowy as that. Plus the shade range is way better, but you can absolutely use this in that same way. I think this is actually even a little bit cheaper than that product, so it's also a great alternative if you don't want this as a foundation and you just want it as that. But this works really well under foundations. I have one of you recommend it, and I have heard other people talk about it as well. I have tried it that way. I'm actually wearing it that way today. Just ignore it because I have on that Zeesea primer underneath everything and it doesn't look its greatest. But this is a beautiful, versatile product. I think it's absolutely wonderful. I love it. Like I said, I think it's going to work well for many different skin types, and it's a new favorite of mine. I really enjoy it. I was pleasantly surprised by that one. All right, I have a lot of blushes, so let's chat about these. Let's start with a liquid blush. So the Armani Luminous Silk Cheek Tint. These are really nice. They are more pigmented than you think they're going to be, but they do sheer out really nicely. That's that Gerard liquid lip, so we're gonna ignore that. They do sheer out really nicely. They build up very nicely. They dry down to almost a powder finish. They're very easy to work with. They don't dry super quick, but you don't have like all day to work with them either. They work well over and under powder products. All of my creams and liquids, if they are in this category, they work well over and under powder products. That is a stipulation that if they do not work well over powder products, they're not going to be in this. So let's just get that out there right now. But this is so beautiful. It just melts into the skin. It is beautiful. And if you put on enough, it does peek through powder. So I really love this. I would love to pick up more of these. I have several of them in my wish list on Sephora, along with about 5,000 other blushes as well. From Iconic London, we have the Blurring Blush Stick. This one actually comes in 3 or 4 different shades. I can't remember, but this is beautiful. I really like this. It is not like so creamy that it just kind of moves all over the skin, but it's not so stiff either that it's going to lift your makeup. It dries down. It is absolutely beautiful. It blends out really nicely. If you have oily skin, I think you're absolutely going to love this. I'm surprised nobody is talking about it. I love the shades in here. I have the shade Daiquiri, and this is beautiful. Again, over and under powder products. This does have a powdery finish to it. The shade lasts all day. I don't have any issues with the pigmentation going away. I really love this. This is a beautiful one. I want to pick up more shades, and I would really like it if they would expand the shade range in this as well. Let's talk Kosas blushes for just a few minutes. These are a new formula from them. They are a baked blush. So I picked up the shade Hype. This was the first one that I got. Loved it so much and ended up picking up Euphoria as well. Now this is like a deeper, more berry tone, but this is going to be perfect for the fall for me. These are gorgeous. These are so good. These have a beautiful sheen to them. They are not shimmery. They are not shiny. They just have a gorgeous sheen to them. They look beautiful on the skin. They are very flattering. They melt in. They don't emphasize texture. And this is what I want from a blush. I do enjoy a matte blush, but I like something that has that sheen to it. Something where the light's just gonna hit the cheek and it's just gonna have that little bit of glimmer to it. But I don't want anything along the lines of the Rare Beauty blushes where that's a blush topper. That is not a blush at all, but these are beautiful. I love the shade range of them. This is a really good product. I think it is very underhyped. I'm surprised more people aren't talking about these as well, but I really enjoy these. I have really been enjoying a lot of things that I have tried from Kosas, and those are no exception. We have another baked blush. This one is going to come to us from Dibs. This is the Duet Baked Blush Duo. I have the shade VIP Pink, and you get this absolutely gorgeous, bright, vibrant pink, and then you have this really pretty, like, purple shade. I have been mixing the two of these together. It is very pigmented, but if you pick this up with a big fluffy brush and just kind of swirl it on the cheek, it blends out so beautifully. It looks very airbrushed on the skin. It does have that nice sheen to it. It is along the lines of the one from Kosas. I think they are very similar in consistency. I just think that the ones from Dibs are more pigmented, but they're not so pigmented where you can't work with them. Like, they are definitely workable. These are beautiful. I love it, and I love that you get basically 3 shades. So you can pick either side or you can blend them together. Absolutely gorgeous. I have another cream blush. This one was hiding under everything because it's in a compact. This is the one from Lawless. This is the Pinch My Cheeks blush. I have the shade Starburst. This is a beautiful formula. I actually prefer this one over powder than I do under powder. I just think it goes on really nicely. Again, this is another one that I think my oily girls are really going to love because it is creamy, but it is not balmy. It dries down to that powder finish. And I think this one dries down a little bit better as a powdery finish than the Iconic London does. So these are absolutely gorgeous. I love these. I like the shade range. I have really been enjoying this one, and I'm surprised because I have never been like a cream blush girly, and lately I have been finding really good formulas that aren't too balmy, they're not too drying, they're just a good consistency, and these are a fantastic release from the brand. I absolutely love these. All right, and our last blush comes to us from Fenty Beauty. This is a limited edition release that they released for the summer. This is the Velour Blush Lighter. This is in the shade Hot Peach. There's 3 different shades of these, and I think these are absolutely beautiful. This is what I wanted from the Rare Beauty blushes. These are shimmery. These do not have just a beautiful sheen to them. These have a shimmer to them, but they are beautiful. It is giving NARS Orgasm vibes, like original formula NARS Orgasm, but these are just so beautiful on the cheek. They're not too shimmery. They're not too dull. They don't emphasize texture. They blend in really nicely. I have really been enjoying this. Can you even see that swatch? I don't think you really can. I'm really sorry. Let's try putting it right here. There we go. I think that's going to be better. Yeah, these are absolutely beautiful. I love the packaging. I really enjoy Fenty Beauty as a brand, and these are gorgeous. I'm kind of contemplating if I want to pick up the other 2 shades or not. I know they're limited edition, but this is such a good formula. All right, so we have this little duo stick. This is going to be our segue from blushes to bronzers. This one comes to us from Dibs, and one end you get a cream blush, and the other end you get a cream bronzer. These have been around for a while. These are not a new release, but these are new to me. These are fantastic. This is such a good creamy formula. They blend in beautifully. The pigmentation is there. I have been using it with the brush that comes with these. Well, it can come with it. You can buy them separately too, but it is absolutely beautiful. I love that brush. I love this product. This blends effortlessly. Like when you say effortlessly, this is that. This blends better than I think the Rare Beauty ones do. Like I do not understand why these are not being talked about more than they are. This is really awkward, but absolutely beautiful. It works really well over and under powder products. I actually have the bronzer on today and it just melts in. I don't know what they do to formulate this, but this is a beautiful formula. I absolutely love it. I would love to pick up more of these, and honestly, I would really like it if they sold the bronzers separately, because there's a lot of blush shades that I really want, but the bronzer is not going to work for my skin. So it's one of those you kind of have to give and take, but it's a beautiful formula. I have been looking at these for a really long time, and this got me excited about the Dibs brand. The Xoxo bronzers. Now these were reformulated earlier this year and re-released, and I have the shade Waves. This is another baked product. I love this. It is beautiful. It is lightly pigmented, but it is very buildable. It does have that sheen to it. I love a good sheen in the summer. I like to have kind of that bronze glowy look, and this gives me that. This is absolutely beautiful. I love how finely milled it is. I don't even know where we're going anymore with these, but I really like the tone of this as well. It is definitely on the warmer side, but it's not like an awful like orange warm shade, and you can see how lightly pigmented it is, but the more I put on, the more it builds up, but it blends into the skin so beautifully. The biggest question is going to be the shelf life on this, especially with the blushes as well. I don't know how long these are going to last. I've heard from some people they go off really quick. I've heard from others that they've lasted a really long time, but I do really enjoy the formula. I think it's beautiful, and it doesn't have a weird smell to it, so it's still good. I mean, I've had it for a couple of weeks now, but I absolutely love that. I am so glad I finally picked it up. The Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. This is the little mini one for light to medium skin. It is not the easiest to open, I will say that. Can I even get it open? There we go. This surprised me. I thought this was going to be way too light, and I've really pulled back on my bronzer a lot lately. I've realized that a softer bronze is what I'm really enjoying. We all go through phases, and right now I'm really enjoying that. But this formula is absolutely beautiful. I love how finely milled it is. I love how it blends out just so beautifully. I love the pigmentation of it. This one is more neutral than the one from Xoxo, and it still has a little bit of a sheen to it, but it doesn't have the same amount of sheen as this one does. So if I want to tone down my bronzer, I'm gonna go for this one. But the highlighter in here is really pretty as well. I don't even know where we're going with these swatches anymore, but it is really pretty. It's more of like a lit from within glow, so it's not going to give you a beaming highlight. But you know, if you're traveling or maybe you just want like a 2-in-1 product, this is a really good highlighter. I really enjoy this. I would 100% spend the money and buy a full size of this. This is just a mini, but this is beautiful. I love it. Thank you for the recommendation. I've really been enjoying that one. All right, I cleaned off all my swatches. Let's jump to our next product, the Natasha Denona Golden Highlighter Trio. This is so beautiful. This is not the same formula that she had in her, was it the High Gen one that she came out with in the little compact? I forgot that popped out. Oh my gosh, please no. I had completely forgotten that mine popped out because it's been staying put, but it's safe, it didn't break. But this is beautiful. I need to glue that back in, y'all. Yeah, it's a very dangerous game that we're playing. But these highlighters, poor thing, these highlighters are beautiful. I can use all three of these on my fair skin. So what does that tell you? But I love the shades in here. I love the formula. I love the consistency. I love that I have 3 different options in this really cute compact, and look at that. So that is the middle shade, the darkest shade, and this is the lightest shade. Now obviously whenever I put them on my skin, they do sheer out quite a bit, but with a light hand, I can get away with this one. It doesn't look as good as the other two, but it still looks beautiful. The formula though, these are so creamy, so beautiful, and I really, really love this little trio. I think this is a perfect release from Natasha Denona, and I think it was fantastic timing to bring this out with the Golden Collection. Okay, we have one more highlighter to talk about. This one is from Delancey. This one came in my June Ice Cream Beauty box. This is the Diamond Multichrome Highlighter. Y'all, this is absolutely gorgeous. It is not easy to get open. I wish packaging would be easier on all of these. Oh, come on. How did I get this open? I know I've opened it like a million times. There we go. Okay. Anyways, if you can get into it, if you can get past security, this is so pretty. Like, it is not the smoothest in the world. Like, you feel it on your finger and you feel like it's going to be very textured, but when you put it on the skin, it just melts in, it becomes one with your skin, and it has this absolutely gorgeous flip to it. Let me do it on the palm of my hand because you can't see that. This just has such a gorgeous, come on lighting, gorgeous flip to it. It is absolutely stunning. When it comes to a multi-chrome highlighter, this is beautiful. But if you don't like a colorful flippy highlighter, you're not gonna like this. I absolutely do. I love a highlighter that like this, especially if I want to add on just a little pop of something, a little sass on my cheeks. This is a good formula. I definitely need to look into getting more of these, maybe different shades. I don't even know if they have any other ones, but we're gonna find out. This is a good formula. We have one brow product to talk about. This one comes to us from Milk Makeup. This is the Kush High Roll Brow Tint. Now, this is one of those that's supposed to have little fibers in it. It's gonna give you some volume, some fullness. It's gonna give you hold, and it absolutely does that. I have it on my brows today, and they look beautiful. They are not going anywhere. Like, they are staying put no matter what I do. This washes off very easily, and if you're like me and you don't have a lot to work with, I've said it before, my eyebrows are microbladed on because I have very sparse brows. I am a victim of the 90s brows. They never grew back in. This is fantastic. If you watched the video where I tried this for the first time, I did one brow on camera and it was like night and day. I was so shocked, so happy. I have not had brows ever look this full before in my entire life. This is a fantastic product. This is a new holy grail for me, and it is one that I would absolutely be sad of if they ever got rid of it, but I'm hoping they don't because it is beautiful. All right, let's talk about a setting spray before we move on to lips because I have a lot of lip products. So this is the NARS Light Reflecting Makeup Setting Mist. This is a hydrating setting mist. So it is going to hydrate the skin while also helping with the longevity of the makeup. This one I love. I like this one more than the Urban Decay one. It doesn't have that sticky feeling to it. It definitely holds the makeup in place, but it's more hydrating. The mister is finer. I don't get any little droplets on it. I don't feel like I need to go pat it in after I put it on. It doesn't have a fragrance to it. This is such a good one. This is a new favorite. I have really been enjoying this and I love it. I don't really have much else to say. It does exactly what it's supposed to do and I enjoy it. All right, we have come to the end. We are down to lips. We always end this with lips. So let's start off with Kosas. I have the Kosas Hot Liner Hyaluronic Acid Contouring Lip Liner. I love this lip liner. It is a mechanical lip liner, so you do twist it down here to get it to come up. These shades are beautiful. It is very creamy. It doesn't last all day, which is fine with me. If everything is going to fade off of my lips, I want my lip liner to fade with it unless I'm using my lip liner as a lipstick. But as a lip liner, I love this. I love the tone of this. I have been using this a lot. I like the consistency of it. And the other really cool little thing about this is it's not drying. That is a really fun fact, and that is true. But you get this little lip brush down here, and then you pull off that whole little piece and you get a little sharpener. So very nifty, very great to throw in your bag and have it on the go. I love these. I want to pick up more shades. But also from Kosas, I have 2 of the wet lip oils. So this one I got in the little birthday gift, and then this one I got as a gift with purchase from some other stuff. I really love these, and here's why. To me, this is like a lip gloss lip oil hybrid. So it has a lot of pigmentation to it. This is the shade Malibu, but it is very thin, very hydrating. So it's the consistency of a lip oil while being pigmented like a lip gloss. So you're getting the best of both worlds out of these. This is the shade Unbuttoned. So we have Malibu and Unbuttoned. These are beautiful. These are so comfortable. If you have dry lips like I do and you want something that's going to be super hydrating, very lightweight on the lips, not sticky, but also give that pigmentation, this is a beautiful formula. I need more of these. I need all of the shades. I have had these in my purse. I had to fetch them from my purse because I have been loving these. These are great for on the go. These are the kind of products that I like, and I have really, really been enjoying those. From Pat McGrath, I have one of the Dramatique Mega Lip Pencils. This is really, really nice. I have been enjoying this. This does sharpen. Mine's a little dull, but I have the shade Nude Venus. I went with like her classic. Absolutely gorgeous shade. Like this is like my perfect color. I love this shade. It goes with the liner. I have some Charlotte Tilbury that's this shade. I love it. This is so creamy, so comfortable. It does dry down to a matte, but it is a very comfortable matte. It does transfer, but it doesn't have a lot of transfer to it. It lasts all day, and I really love the convenience of it being in this little stick. The only thing that I hate is if I throw it in my purse, I need to make sure that it's sharpened before I do so, but I can absolutely use this as a liner and as a lipstick. I really enjoy this. I love it. I would love to pick up more of those. And last in our lip category and our overall favorite category, we have these glosses from Game Beauty. These came out with the Attack on Titan collection, and I said it when I reviewed the collection. I was really happy that we got glosses instead of lipsticks. I do love a lipstick. I prefer a bullet lipstick over a liquid lipstick, but my perfect lip combo is a lip liner and a lip gloss, so I will get a lot of use out of these. But we got 4 shades in this, and these are all very wearable shades. So there is the shade Levi right there, a very pretty like peachy brown nude shade. We have the shade Erin, which is this one right here. So again, a very nude shade, a little bit more on like the warm side, a little bit deeper. We also have Mikasa, which is the deepest one of all of them. And I'm throwing stuff now. And it has that little bit of like a brick red shade to it. I will fetch that in a minute. And then the last one that we have is Armin, and this is going to be the lightest one. It's almost a clear. It's got like just a hint of like a peach shade, but this is such a good formula. It is hydrating. It is not sticky. It is not super thick. It is a gloss formula. It is not like an oil formula. It is not an oil hybrid formula, but I love that it's lightweight. I love that it's not sticky. It does have a little bit of a fragrance to it, nothing overpowering, but I love that we got everyday wearable shades. We didn't get anything kind of weird and crazy. As much as I love Unearthly, a lot of the times I cannot stand the shades of their lip products that they give us, but these are beautiful. I absolutely love them. But that's going to complete the speed reviews video. I want to hear from y'all. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. Are any of these that were in like my meh category or my no good category, are they your favorites? Or any of the favorites ones that don't work out from you? Let me know all of your thoughts down below. Let's have that conversation. Light up that comment section. And as usual, I want to thank you all so much for watching my video and spending your time with me. It truly does mean so much to me. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future posts here on my channel. I do post quite a few videos every single week, and I wouldn't want you to miss one. But until my next video, have a good one. Bye.